Hi everybody, Bill Black at Spirit River. I'm here today to tie a UV2 FuzzyBug for you. This is based off of FuzzyBugger, and here's the fly. We'll be using some of the UV2 materials, brand new materials that we're coming out with, that have a double dye process that's proprietary to Spirit River. And what we're going to be doing, the reason we're using this material is because it shows up better for fish. Supposedly that's the theory behind it. We're pretty excited about it, and so I want to show you how to tie a couple flies. The first fly we're going to be doing is this one. So what you do is you start with a nymph hook, 1x long nymph hook. You add one of Spirit River's bright beads to it, which I've done right there. And as always, I want to do about 4 or 5 wraps of lead wire, and you want to use a small enough lead wire so that it'll fit down inside that bead and keep it from rattling around. Basically, you're securing your bead. Now when I start my thread, I start it right behind the lead wire, and then I just wrap it right into the lead wire, and that secures that bead, it secures that lead wire. Make sure it's all compressed in there nice and tight. Now the thing with a lot of the UV2 dubbings that we're going to be doing, I like to use a white thread. Because it has more of a reflective quality that will bounce light. If any light comes into the fly, it bounces it back out, and usually in a different light spectrum. So that's the part of the theory behind our dubbings. The other thing I like to do is I like to try to use pearl or silver as an underbody, and you'll see in some of the flies I tie why that just makes them pop, and it should also trigger the fish. So I'm going to bring the thread all the way back to the tail. This is a UV2 Grizzly soft hackle that we'll be offering. I'm going to take one of those. This looks like a good one, and I'm going to take some of the fluff on the base of it, and I'm going to straighten it out and grab a chunk of it. And I'm going to measure it so it's about the length of the shank of the hook. What's nice is if you can tie it in so it butts right up against, or is about butts up against the lead wire, or is about the length of the shank, and it comes to the lead wire there, so that you don't have a big gap there to fill with your thread. So, all right, so what you do is you grab some Crystal Flash. Our Crystal Splash is pearl that we're going to be using on this. And I'm going to take just one strand right now, and I'm going to tie it in. So there's a little bit on one side, and then I pull this over, and then I work my thread back towards the tail, and there's my second one. So I got one piece of that flash on each side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little piece of copper wire, and I'm going to tie that in, as well as another piece of the Pearl Flash. I'm going to kink that copper wire, and when I do that, I wrap a couple times and I fold it back over, and that locks it in. Okay, so I'm going to use both of these as a rib, if I can control them. Now what I want to do is I want to take a couple pieces of this Pearl Flash, and I'm going to double it over, and I'm going to put it underneath, and I'm going to go forward, and I'm going to tie it in here. And I'm going to use that to basically build a pearlescent body underneath this dubbing. Now this fly has a lot of flash in it already, because we are using that copper, and we're using that flash as a rib. But as with a lot of this UV2 dubbing, I think it's important to put some flash underneath the fly, underneath the body if you can. And you'll see on like the buyout and stuff that we've done, you can really see it underneath it. Next I'm going to take a little UV2 dubbing. This is the Hares here. Now again, this has got about 5 or 6 other blends of ultraviolet material in it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed that on here. I'm going to keep it thin, and when I actually dub it, I'm going to dub it and try to if I can, I'm going to try to let the pearlescent show through just a touch. Any light at all is going to be caught by that, so, and it'll reflect back out. It'll give out a UVR, a much stronger UVR tone to it. Now I'm going to take the crystal splash, and I'm going to wind that in one direction. Try to keep it nice and even. So I've got 4 wraps on here so far. I'll go around a couple times here and tie it off. Then I'm going to take this copper wire. This just adds extra security, make sure that flash stays on the body. Go in and cut that. Don't use the tip of your scissors, you'll ruin them. Go around that a couple times, and then I'm going to take this body and I'm going to rough it up. Now, with this mix that we put into the UV2, there's a whole bunch of other fibers in there of different colors, and those things are going to start emanating out on this. So the rougher you do this, the better. And if you really want this to be buggy, don't wrap a really tight noodle. Okay? Now I'm going back to the same soft UV2 saddle hackle, Grizzly saddle hackle. I'm going to tie that in. And I'm just going to take one wrap. Okay, now some of my hackle's sticking forward and some back. It doesn't really matter because I'm going to go in and swoop it all back. And I like to do that because it gives it a slightly different length. There you go. So it comes just to about the back of the hook is where your soft hackle comes to. I'm going to take a little piece of the UV2 Peacock, and I'm using the bottom of the Hearl because I really don't want on this small fly a really huge fluffy collar on it. So I'm going to go around here probably 2 or 3 times. I'm going to whip finish this, and then I'm going to put a little drop of super glue on it. And the way I control my super glue is I put a drop on a plastic bag, one of my fly tying material bags, and then I'll take my bodkin. See that little drop on there? I'll just take the bodkin, clean one, put it on there, and I can go in and really nicely apply it. Instead of putting a big drop of super glue that just glucks all the way across. And then be careful with that bag afterwards. Anyway, there you have it. Spirit River's new UV2 bug, and it's basically a bugger. It's great for still waters, it's great for lakes and for rivers. So please try this. We appreciate your support. You can find a lot of our products at dealers throughout the country. Thank you very much for watching and appreciate your support. Bye.